to be part of that team.
We were surprised to hear Jake Saar after the loss to Greece say, well, we didn't know they were that good. And that surprised us. But what we've seen is a perhaps being oblivious to these things is helping this team and helping him just stay in control. He knows his team well. That's apparently all he figures he needs to know well. Everything else will work itself out. He focuses on what happens on the court.
Yeah, and I think in tournament play, there's a time when you have to worry about the time you're together, and I think that maybe something Senegal and Coach Saar will pick up. And not surprisingly, Philippines still in their little 2-3 zone. And more surprisingly, Senegal come out and take a three.
Oh, quick pass, and Paulie just didn't run the transition as quickly as Alapak calculated because he couldn't see him.
Well, it was either going out of bounds or he was going to make an assist, and so he just tried. It would have been great for Philippines if it had come off.
But Senegal knows that they're down 13, just underway in the third quarter, that third place is at stake. They would have to win, and then Argentina and Puerto Rico, win, and they would be third and avoid possibly Spain on the knockout stage in the second round as Gabe Norwood takes another rebound.
That's when they pick up that really easy game against Brazil, yeah?
Yes, in other words, you have a tough opponent anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
Paul Lee misses. There's Aguilar.
Now that
fouled by Hamadi Ndiaye.
This isn't a great start by Senegal because, one, they went out and just did the same thing down the other end.
Can't get into the flow, down 13.
And Aguilar just outworked him on the glass. You know, the fans loving their time here in Sevilla. Who wouldn't, because it's a beautiful city, but really, in the first minute of this third quarter, they've gone down, settled for like a very poor three, and then Aguilar has just outworked him on the glass. This team, if they're going to, I'd go as far as this, if they're going to play this flat, then they may as well take Georgie Deng out to try and protect him. Because if they're not going to play this game in the way that they can to be successful, you know, the Philippines are going to get a much-deserved win. The fans go home on a bit of a positive.
There's no wasted game.
No.
Look at Philippines. Look at the Philippines. Formally eliminated,
yeah.
And they're not wasting this game.
No such thing as a dead game in international basketball because you're playing for your country.
But beyond that as well, if that's not enough, it's a chance to succeed. It's a chance to get better. Oh, we go a strip by Black.
Did not move that defense before they tried to make the move on the inside.
Cross-court pass to Lee. Touch pass to Alapag. Ooh.
Nice find.
Wow. And Norwood misses, and the ball's in the hands of Faye. What a pass by Alapag through the defense.
Really did. He looked off, looked the other way. Really did find a great look.
Doyd. Beautiful move. A fake off Blatch. Rotation came late.
He tanked the basket after one pass in transition. Defense not set.
Early offense.
Attack the space.
They're playing a little zone as well. Alapag inside. Oh! Jacket Aguilar with the stuff.
Oh, we talked about athletes before the game taking it above the ring, and Aguilar in a blue uniform, as opposed to anyone in a white Senegal uniform, took it to the ring harder than anybody's done all game. Again, he's behind the zone. He comes up the gap between the back and the middle. Great play.
Shoved by Aguilar, 2 shots for Hamadi Ndiaye.
Who was shoving Aguilar when he was going up? Who got physical with him? No one. Deng tried to block, but it was far too late. He got away with a walk, but who cares? You know, in this situation, who cares? He called it, then took 2.
He plays for Barangay Ginebra. He's 27 years old. He looks younger.
He does look younger.
His father, Peter Aguilar, was a former player in the PBA. He ended up with the Western Kentucky University Hilltoppers in the NCAA Division I in the United States. He was only a reserve, wasn't very happy, played 2 seasons. He ended up injured, but he was selected first overall in the PBA draft by the Burger King Whoppers in 2009. He was traded to talk and text after 1 game with the Whoppers. Speaking, he just lost the handle.
I think I'm going to have to go to the Philippines and watch some of that league.
Oh, beautiful runner and floater.
Early offense, attack a gap. We're going to sound like a tape recording here in this game. This is not a complicated game to work out. They don't have many complicated options to take. And they've closed it to 12, but they're still in a bit of a hole, Senegal.
Stripped by 5, recovered by Blatch behind the back, becoming a trademark. Tough shot, beautiful block by 5. Here we go. Dalmeida. They try to foul him. Inside, Yang just lost the handle.
That's why the referee should call that foul. There's no such thing as advantage in that situation. They've given up a foul. He was fouled at the half court. You don't make decisions about that sort of advantage. Blow the whistle. They're trying to foul, and all that's happened now is Senegal have lost the ability to use their defense to get transition. They were fouled in transition. They turn it over. Lee stops. He knows he's fouled. He says, why haven't you called it? And there's no advantage in letting that play develop.
I think everybody thought there was
everybody in the gym. Referees are making a decision there about what's going to happen, not what's actually happened. And it's a real bugbear of mine in that situation.
Really, I hadn't noticed.
Well, and they'll turn around and say, oh, you didn't want us to stop the break? Yes, I did, because that sort of stuff might happen.
Yang with a rebound as Norwood misses the second. 13-point lead.
Paul Lee was just about to turn around and literally bitch at the official for not calling the foul if Senegal had scored.
Ooh, nice pass inside and die. Let's see what he can do. Loses the handle. Blatch with verticality. And look at Dalmeida trying to struggle, take the ball away from the bigger, and now he reaches in for the foul.
So that's a foul, and the no call was no foul because this is in the half court, because the game is set up. I'm sorry, I'm not a referee. I'm a coach, and from a coaching perspective, you want the foul call. Both teams want the foul call.
That's a rare occasion, right?
Yeah, because they're all getting positive out of it.
Against his own. Little ball moving here. Corner 3. Too long. Rebounded by Blatch. Fake. Blocked and fouled by Ndori.
Again, the rotation from Senegal. We get a chance to see this again. The ball was skipped, so that at that point, everybody for the Senegalese defense was on the inside of Andre Blatch. By the time the ball is shot, Andre Blatch has inside position. They didn't rotate. They're very static. There's too much space around the ring. That space doesn't exist when the Philippines are on defense. They might have the athletic jumping ability, but they've got position.
Again, we see Blatch make the first free throw. Dang is either tired or suffering the effects of that bang on the head. I'm not sure which. He's not sharp. He's sort of going half speed.
Yeah, the bang on the head is a worry because of what it might be.
Right.
But this is 5 games, 6 days.
That could easily be the case.
And he's carrying his team. I think that bang on the head is definitely not helping. And I just hope that's all it is. He's just not helping.
5 dribble drives. Doyle back to Dieng. He loses the handle. 3 to shoot. Inside. Turnaround shot. It's good. A rare, successful half-court operation by Senegal.
Turn the defense 2 or 3 times during that.
Blatch all the way in. Oh, he gets hit by Ndai. Ball comes loose. Ali, no, just a layup at the rim against the backboard. So now they're making a move. Senegal still 11 points down.
Still 11 down, even though you get the feel that they're getting back into it. Bodies all over the floor on the previous possession.
Blatch. Lee launches a 3. Short. Norwood. Back to Lee. Crossover inside. Aguilar was hiding. Allen back. Beautiful. 10 seconds still to shoot. Tremendous ball movement. And now Senegal up ahead with 5. There's a foul by Norwood.
You like it though. You like it from the Philippines.
They reverse side.
That's what generated the offensive rebound, because they had moved the defense by the ball movement. Defense had been turned. It had just turned in on itself, so that it was actually not aware of where the players had moved to. The gaps were there. Blatch is going to come out. Coming out more in this game than he's been able to in other games because of the matchup scenarios. But Paulie was given a wide-open shot. He's now 2 from 3 from there. So, overall, you're going to take that. And he took it wide open in rhythm.
Massive substitution. Only Gabe Norwood remains. Del Campo, Chan, Tenorio, And Fajardo back in. Here's Dieng, and again he didn't look crisp.
There's the difference between Ocampo at the back of that zone and Andre Blatch.
Ball bounced off the arm of Ndoye. Belongs to the Philippines with 17 seconds to shoot.
Well, if the Senegalese run, or the way the game has the feel of going, continues for 1 or 2 more sets, expect Andre Blatch to come straight back. I hope he comes straight back.
6 points, 3 rebounds, 3 steals for Norwood. He's playing against his own now. It's a 2-1-2 zone. Drives in the crease, in and out. And here's Fajardo. And the foul's before the shot by Dieng.
Well, it's another example of what you were saying about Dieng. You know, he's a little bit slow on the rotation, a little bit slow to react to the missed shot. His turn, he's not really going after it. Whereas Fajardo, the Kraken, gives a little give me some space. Sort of threw him off with that little elbow.
24-year-old born in Compostela. During his rookie season, he earned a silver medal at the 2013 FIBA Asia Championships. All rookie team, second mythical team. Playing for San Mig. And San Mig did something that rarely happens. I believe the last time it happened was 18 years before, which is you have 3 different conferences or competitions within 1 year. They won all 3.
Well,
it's called the Grand Slam.
And with that level of competition, very competitive league, that's a phenomenal performance.
Tremendous, tremendous. And he was essentially the MVP for that team. Little elbow commerce between Chan and Ndai.
Chan doesn't need it, doesn't need to react.
Almeida, the ball accidentally falls into the hands of FaZe. He can't make the basket. Back into the hands of no one. It belongs to the Philippines.
Got to credit Campo on that one. Just kept it alive, stayed active. There's no reason that the Philippines should get so much action on the offensive glass if Senegal box out first, and then they'll own the glass if they box out first.
Ocampo loses the handle, and he double dribbled, trying to get it back. You know, you mentioned that you've seen that also in the NBA with the sort of rules that they use and the athletes that they have. But sometimes when you're that athletic and you can jump that high and your arms can reach so far, you think you can get those rebounds through that effort, and instead you really need to box out.
Yep.
And they're not good boxing out.
Right, so they become jumping competitions, isn't it?
One player that always has a rebound taken from him, believe it or not, is LeBron James, as good as he is. Jeff Chan, backcourt, it's good. It's like he's playing pool, he's playing billiards.
It's
uses that backboard like a little bump in a corner.
Best friend on the floor. You know, this is a 13th. Senegal have picked the game up a little bit, but they haven't been able to close the margin. And the game has still a feel that Senegal have got to up their level of just activity.
Fay, corner 3. He's content with the corner. Here we go, Tenorio. No look pass. No good shot by Norwood. Up ahead, watch out. Dang. Dumps it.
He fouled out, then he ignored. If he's going to foul out, don't take the shot.
And now we have Ndai, who's had those back pains, on the floor crumpled. Just asked him a question as to what hurts. Look at this.
Well, when you have a bad back, just any of us, us normal people, when you have a bad back, nothing is easy. To then have to haul your body around for 40 minutes and have it banged around like he did then.
Yeah, that's his back. He just got it banged with Fajardo. A simple bang.
You can't protect it. You can't carry it. You can't do a lot with it. It's just going to hurt. Depends how bad it is and then all the medical advice you get, because it starts to affect everything. I don't think we're going to see any more playing time for Hamadeh Ndai today.
And they're going to miss him. He's one of the veterans. He knows his role. He's great at the offensive glass, putbacks, and get you a few points. He'll open up perimeter shots just by being down low. And we've seen him this week, Mark. Before he enters the game, he spends, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes just warming up just to get his back ready.
Well, it's going to be a difficult trip for him, wherever they're going to Madrid after this.
Oh, bad pass by Fay. Again, the passing needs to be precise. They just blew 2 points. And Ndoye makes sure that they get some points out of this one. Turnover, score, and with 2:02 to go, it's an 8-point game. Chot Reyes calls a timeout. Chot Reyes is so frustrated, he threw that ball he had in his hands, threw it on the floor. Very as frustrated as I've seen him with his team. Now, you mentioned that as we look on to Jake Summit, you mentioned that he had put on the blame on his shoulders. And I've seen coaches do that a lot of times diplomatically to provide cover, but they take blame and stop there. Chot Reyes went ahead. And it only took on the blame when explaining specifically what he had done wrong. I haven't seen too many coaches do that.
No, and I think there is a line that says coaches do that because they want to take the pressure off players. The players are going to go out the next day, all that type of scenario. It's like explaining it what leads you open to further questioning and further what would you have done, etc., etc. And he did give up a lot of information that went a lot further than most coaches would go. But I think that's him, though. He seems to want to, one, be open, but two, like, he wants people to know about this program, so he wants to give them information about this program.
23,000 Filipinos in Madrid, that's the estimate. Some of them are commuting to the game. That's about 2 hours on the fast train.
Yeah, that's on the fast train.
Here we go, intercepted. A little lazy pass, and Ndoye takes it.
Jimmy Alapac's going to
launches another three. No good. Down low, Dieng fakes, blocked, and fouled by Blatch.
Well, the other way of dealing with the scenario, I love this moment, because Blatch is, he's looking as though he's not happy with just what's just been called. LA Tenorio and Reyes have just had a little bit of conversation about the turnover before. And all that tells you is this team wants to win. This team has come all the way to Sevilla, been unfortunate to lose 3 games by 4 points and less. It's overtime and Croatia has a chance to win, and at the moment they're starting to give that opportunity away because Senegal hasn't changed. I don't see any change in what Senegal has done.
Well, they're getting into their offense a little bit earlier,
but most of the time off of bad decisions, turnovers by the Philippines,
and that really helps them accelerate their offense as Dieng makes the free throws, and now it's a 6-point game. Pressure off the inbound. Maurice Ndoye came in for Hamadi Ndiaye.
But this is pretty much the lineup that generated the big run in that second quarter for the Philippines, with Alapac at the point and Lee at the 2, Norwood with the 3, and the big boys on the inside.
So Senegal is now down 2 rotation players. Alapac open 3, no good. Fajardo and Blatch fight over the ball, and it belongs to Senegal.
Well, they had 2 blue shirts on the ring again. It's just that inside position. The ball just favored Senegal. Dieng is literally running on empty. If he was your car, that dial would be on 0 right now. It's in that area. How far can I go without finding a station?
He's just starting the 3rd quarter. Ndoye, he's fresh. 22-year-old, speaks Japanese, English, French, Wolof, and Seré, the last 2 local Senegalese languages. Blatch misses, and it's again off the hands of Fajardo. Belongs to Senegal.
Well, no, they've given it back to the Philippines.
Back to the Philippines.
Surprisingly, but I think that was one of those, you're much closer as the official. You
look
can
at
see
this.
it.
Look at this. I'm back, coach. Look at this. Look at this. Unbelievable. Falls off Ndoye as Blatch was about to fall out of bounds.
In a bad position, yeah. Unfortunately, Philippines are going for, teams, this happens in games. You're going to get runs of points, and the Philippines are in one of those dry spells at the moment. You've got to go back to things that work like that. Get it on the floor, attack the hoop, and instead of settling for jump shot, Blatch gives them that other dimension that no one else on his team can do. And now he's got a chance to tick the scoreboard over for the first time in a while for the Philippines to get them off this 48 points.
Blatch so far, 10 points, 9 boards, 4 turnovers. That also comes with the package. 1 steal, 2 offensive rebounds. But he's missed 9 of 12 shots from the field. Fajardo, wow, against the best of Senegalese defense.
Great offensive rebound, but he was massively outnumbered, and you could argue with 30 seconds to go, bring it out.
15 seconds on the shot clock, at a 16-second differential. Almeida penetrates away, but he can't make the basket. That's the hardest part. You get the easy part in. Two-three zone. Alapag, no good. Fajardo can't shoot, and that will be the end of 3. 49-44. Senegal wins the quarter 20-12, cuts the lead to 5, and we'll be back. The 4th quarter will begin. Philippines looking for a win. Senegal possibly a 3rd place.
Well, there's a certain amount of symmetry to these, the way the game is broken down. Big first quarter by Senegal, 4 second, then picked it up again in the 3rd. And all that was down to Philippine misses, Philippine turnovers. This was the best thing that happened to them early in that quarter, the fake and the drive as opposed to the settle for the 3. And the highlight of Aguilar going for the dunk on the baseline against the zone has been missing after that play for the Philippines, because they've started to settle for too much shots from the perimeter where they haven't really moved the basketball. They missed a couple of shots where they had moved it, still good offense, but then in the disappointment of missing shots, they decided to go back to a little bit too much dribble, a little bit too much of one person shooting the ball. But the Senegalese got a little bit more from their defense, got transition points early in the set before the defense has had a chance to choke up the middle.
Lots of penetration into the lane.
That again was before, that was just after Blatch had left the game. So the back of the zone, it's a little different with Del Campo down there compared to having on-play Blatch.
Dang, the dunk.
But the key for me here, though, is that they've had their flat spell, the Philippines. They had it the wrong time yesterday in the 4th quarter. They've had their flat spell. They can re-establish the starting game that they had in the 2nd quarter in particular. They're well on course to give themselves a chance to get the first win. The great thing, though, for the people watching the game is that the Senegalese have picked it up in that 3rd quarter. So we've got another first game here. Every single day, the first game, it's almost like wake them up early, they roll them out, they're fine.
It sets the tone, doesn't it?
Senegal have a real chance to get back in if they maintain what they were doing in the 3rd.
Again, Senegal needs to win to give itself a chance to go for the 3rd quarter. Oh! Oh! A foul! And a 3! A rare, possible 4-point play.
I wouldn't mind seeing it again, because the decision on the screen at the top of the zone. Well, he went underneath. If you're going underneath, you've decided that you're quite happy if you're going to give him anything, you give the shot. You don't then foul it. If Alapag makes it, well, you've made the decision. You've made the decision that he might shoot the 3. Don't foul it.
By doing what you did with the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. You've made that.
Don't make it worse.
Oh. The guy at the back could have been a bit active, but obviously the rule was to go under. Well, I hope the rule was to go under the screen, because that's where he went.
Endure with 3 pumps, no good.
3 pump, no rhythm.
Del Campo looking for an alley-oop. Fajardo collects, no good. It lands in the hands of 5.
A little too relaxed on that shot, the big man.
Almeida had a shot. Corner to Endure. Yes.
That time, no fake, no pump fake, no anything. Caught it on the same distance from the basket as before, different spot. Caught it, shot it in the rhythm that you play in.
Last time it was a little bit flat-footed. Alapag, bad pass, collected by Dang.
Never made the defense adjust. There was one pass to the wing, still high up. So everyone's looking at that penetration. Got to try and make the defense shift.
Almeida trying to beat Fajardo to the backboard. He does. 5-point Philippine lead. And still a little bit of pressure off the inbound. That worked against the Philippines. That Puerto Rico did that well. Inside, nice fake on a three. Del Campo needs a lot of time to set up. The shot goes all the way in, no good. Ding with a rebound.
Paul Lee was naked in the corner, completely naked. No one.
5.
Anywhere near him.
Again, a corner three.
Great job back there.
Yes, turnaround and a bucket. So now it's a 3-point Philippine lead.
Again, off of a block that time.
Oh, it's out of bounds. It belongs to Gilas, and with 18 seconds to shoot.
That was off of the block. And again, broken play situation. Get the shot going, get on the glass. It's, you can have a lot of fun with this Senegalese team if you played that way all the time.
Jimmy Alabag off the black screen. They went over, but he just had enough room. That's all he needs. Jimmy right now is 3 of 7 from behind the arc. Endure. And a foul by Blatter. Another cheap foul. That is his third. Almeida. 5. Inside. Wow. Roll. No good. Great defense by Norwood on 5.
Just give it to, could have gone to the corner, which would have really flattened out that zone.
In and out. Fajardo. It's in. And the foul.
We are going to sound like a tape recording here, but the ball never stuck. Norwood slowed it up a little bit by hanging on to it, but the ball swung, came back, opened up the middle. Fajardo then gets the chance to get on the offensive glass because the defense has been pulled by the decent ball movement.
Junmar Fajardo, 61%, 63%, 65%. That's in each of his seasons in the Philippines. That's where he hovers, and he misses the shot. So now it's an 8-point lead, 7 minutes to go in the fourth. Endure. Very static offense. Nobody's cutting, nobody's moving. Oh, they had to do it alone. Now the pass, the fake. And is it on time?
No, they're giving it.
They're giving it to him.
You know what? There's part of I think that Coach Reyes is right. We really have to look at it because he had to change the shot.
Oh, ball on the floor. Here comes Almeida and a foul, and it's the 4th on Blatt. A frustration foul. And he knows it. It's 4th. Disgusted with himself. That's another cheap one.
Yeah, mid-court fouls. They're the fouls, you know, you're looking at some of the other teams in this group as Blatch has to sit down. You don't see the Greeks and the Argentinians, for example, making those fouls, their key people. They've got enough trouble fouling when they guarding the basket, let alone trying to go for those steals.
Because they're undersized, typically, at the high level, at the highest level. And they need those fouls to make inside shooters who are bad at the line, try to earn them from out there and give themselves a better chance. And
absolutely.
Those fouls may be a 4-point difference in a game. And that may be the winning margin.
Well, and they've lost by, what, 3 games by less than 4.
Alabag, no good. Unlimited range.
Now Senegal have to move it, keep moving. Don't pull it out. Try and be aggressive now.
Move it, inside. Yang. Nice drop step, no good.
He's on his own out there in terms of real size, in terms of going to the glass.
Intercepted by Yang, up ahead to find Norwood fouls though, watch out. It's in.
Good control by Fire, good decision by Norwood. He really would have had to go in a difficult circumstance to foul then.
4-point game, pressure continues. The ball's tipped. Lee has it. And there's a foul.
Why don't Senegal play with this much activity for the game? Even in the half court. even if they go forecourt, they're not. You know, they are.
They're not as deep.
They're not very deep. I know, but there's guys on that bench who are athletic who could play this sort of defense, and they're so much more effective as a team.
Inside, deflected by Dur, not in time by Alapag. They ran out of time. That deflection really undid their plans.
I tell you, Coach Reyes, throughout this tournament, has been in this situation every game. He's now faced with another close finish with 5 to go in the fourth. Does this team believe it can win a game that's close?
Dur could have done an alley-oop. Now he faces the basket and shoots over Docampo. RDO on defense.
Well, there's the effect of having Blatch on the bench again. You know, he gives up a half-court foul. Doesn't help his team in this situation right now.
Norwood very cautious with the dribble. For a guy that looks to have a decent handle. Paul Lee inside, try to reach Fajardo, and a foul on Lee after he turned the ball over.
Put it unsportsmanlike. Let's have a look.
Oh, I don't know about that. Wow. He hooked him, no question about it.
Oh, no, this is
a foul.
As he lost possession, he hooked back. You see that happen a lot. People with frustration of losing the ball try and reach back for it.
Tenorio back in the game now.
Coach Reyes is looking for a combination. He really has been rotating his options at the guard spot. He took Tenorio out after a mistake, which he doesn't normally do. But he's almost not clutching at straws. That's too strong a statement. But he is really desperately trying to find a unit that's going to function for these last 5 minutes. Blatch has had to come back, obviously had to come back. If Deng makes this and ties it up and Senegal have a possession, it's a huge possession in the game, the next one from the half court.
Looking for his 14th point. He already has 12 rebounds, a double-double. No good.
It's still a big possession because they could take the lead. And it's a long, long time since they had their noses in front. It's man-to-man now, but they're playing man-to-man inside the three-point line. They're going to offer the three.
7 to shoot. Inside. Bad pass. It belongs to the Philippines.
See, we talked about that right at the beginning of the game. That was a great duck-in because they had Blatch on the three-point line. All they had to do was make a good pass. Not a great one, just a good one. And they turn it over. And that's what the Philippine philosophy was right early in the game. As they're not a great passing team, if you protect the middle, they will turn it over.
Well, that's a point of emphasis for the younger categories in Senegal. That's what they have to work on. Norwood, corner three. They look for the ball, and here comes Dalmeida.
This team needs to commit to the break. You only have one person with him on the break. You can win this game in transition, Senegal.
Bay. Nice strip by Blatch, but it's off his hand.
So now they find themselves with only like 11 seconds on the possession, when if they'd have run the floor, they may have had a good option in transition.
Deng back to Almeida. He wants him to take a shot. He gets in the crease. Now the Kraken shows up. Fay, three. Step aside three. No good. Fajardo with a rebound. Blatch bringing it up like he so loves. And a shove and a foul by Maurice Ndour.
It's a crazy foul.
The second.
That's the third team foul. We could end up, you know, it comes down to a free throw shootout.
Jake Starr agrees.
He's on the sideline. The rest of his team is back and behind him. The only thing you can bail him out is that no one communicated. Oh.
Blatch floater. It's in. 3-point lead.
How do you leave the most prolific scorer in this group wide open on the foul line? He smiles. He can't believe it either. This Senegalese team has all the tools. They've just got to be under the right rules, under the right instruction.
Deng.
Nice move by them.
Oh, a hard foul and another grimace
Did he land on it? I think he had his leg underneath him when he landed. He's holding his back too.
Oh, no.
Let's have a look. There's the foul.
Just landed awkwardly and then...
Oh, he's hit the hoardings. And I think his leg got caught, but he's hit the hoarding too. I think, well, I hope it's just a bang. I hope he bang his head at the same time. That would not be good. He's got to come out because the trainers have come on.
Yep. He doesn't know that. He goes, what about my 2 shots? He was on the act of shooting, but he has to sit. And Mohamed Jump will come in to shoot for him.
Jump's only a 66% free throw shooter. Just check it. I don't know if they had anyone. Well, they've got better free throw shooters on the bench, but as we said in commentary, or I said in commentary, Jump's never seen a bad shot. He always likes them.
Yes.
So he was. I think he looked like he was up. Chance for points here.
Makes the first.
And you can't actually. You know, if someone wants to do it and they're a reasonable shooter, then go with a guy if he's that confident.
He and number 7 Mamadou Ndoye played together under Jake Star, the UGB, the Senegalese league. He makes both, and now it's again a 1-point Filipino lead.
No dang in the game. This is as small as the Senegalese can be in terms of their lineup at the moment.
Chan. Jeffrey lines up a 3, drives. Inside, oh, too much traffic. Here comes Almeida, 3-on-2. All the way to the hoop goes fast. And now, Senegal takes the lead. 2.5 to go. Chuck Reyes wants to talk it over.
Well, it's a nice finish. There's a couple of times he's been down the floor. He's got a lot of elevation. Points off defense. Jeffrey Chan's decision to start that break with the turnover for Senegal. Chan's decision to try and feed Blackwell on that occasion, as you can see, Jack Rouse.
There is no inside fucking pass!
21 points off turnovers out of the 61. A third of Senegal's points off Filipino turnovers. He brought up 19 turnovers yesterday as a reason why they lost against Puerto Rico. And right now they have 18, and they still have 2.5 to go.
Well, he's made a mess of the coaching ball. Apologies for the picked up emotion of Coach Reyes there with his description of the pass. There isn't a pass there. The whole of the defense, every part of the Senegalese defense was below the foul line. The dribble went there, so they all went. Here it is, watch. Everybody's got their feet under the foul line. He tries to feed the pass there. And he gets what it deserves, a turnover. Now, there's got to be more movement so he has an option on the pass, but there is no pass when that defense collapses that much.
And the specter of the tournament for the Filipino team is closing games.
You've got to feel for him. You've got to give some credit here to Senegal. They haven't been great. They were so flat in that second period. You know, they've got out on the break. They've picked the defense up enough to generate some turnovers. Now they come out with all that half-court trap, which will be interesting to see how effective that'll be.
Take the Hart was all alone.
You've got to look down the floor.
Alback never saw him.
Never looked.
He hides along that baseline.
Ball still hasn't got.
Inside, here we go.
Big to big.
We were calling out.
Big to big.
High-low post play. Philippines up top again.
Good job by Fajardo because like that stretches the floor getting behind that defense.
Okay, with a 3, no good. And Blacks with a rebound. You've mentioned how happy he's been. He's 3 of 11 behind the arc. Tenorio.
Why change? Why go away? Throw it to Blatch at the high post. We'll see what happens.
He drives, pushes off Endure, ball loose, he puts it in.
All right, by hook or by crook, whatever way you want to run it. They got him into that. They got the ball to the high post. Yeah, he got a little lucky. The ball's in the right area of the floor with the right man.
Jake Sark calls a timeout. They're down 3 minutes 23 to go in the fourth.
Well, I'll say the same thing both ways. Why, after being aggressive, changing it, looking to attack the basket, did Senegal go one pass, shoot a three? 3 from 11 doesn't say, oh, that's what we're really going to run. He's 3 from 11, we're not going to run a play for him. Why not throw it back inside? Why not try and get the same things you've got down the other end? They listened to Coach Reyes last time. There isn't the pass inside for the perimeter, is what he said. They went to the high post, got something out the high post with a pass. They played him a little harder, so he penetrated. Doing the right things, get into the right areas, good things happen. The high-low dunk, and I think we're going to get a look at, well, we're going to get a look at it again, but we may not get a look at what happened with Brad. He's fumbled it, he got a piece of it, but he's in the ring. And Fajardo is all over the offensive glass because the ball's in the right areas.
Very high in the assist, and he's still sore after that fall. These teams will get Friday off, whoever advances, and then back at it Saturday, Sunday. That will be the elimination round. Simple elimination. No point carryover. Again, against Fajardo.
Great job by Alapag to come and double team.
4 misses and the ball back in the hands of Andor, the captain. Last minute of play. Oh boy. Senegal down 3. The crowd gets into it.
Gotta take it to the ring.
Andor. They're just thinking 3 all the way.
Oh, got another offensive rebound.
Almeida inside, Andor. Hounded. Outside, great patience, it's in! The captain showed up and ties the game at 64 with 33.1 seconds to go.
The margins of winning and losing, as the Philippines know, 1 defensive rebound away possibly from being able to ice the game. They gave up 3 offensive boards. They were very three-point happy. But they made a huge shot but after 3 offensive rebounds.
What patience though by
Andor. Yeah, it was in there a long, long time. Moved the basketball in his hands. Great find from underneath the ring. But 1 offensive rebound could be all between the Philippines and a win. They'd have got 1 defensive board there. They'll be down the floor trying to ice the game. Still plenty of time here. 33 seconds, new ball game.
Andor was a 36% three-point shooter with Levallois in French's top league, the Pro A, averaging 25 minutes. Look at that.
And they saw European competition last year in the Europe Cup. It's a good level team. He's a good level player. And that's a huge shot. And you love the confidence of guys. I know we're saying they shoot the ball too often, but they had tried to go inside, and they got an inside-outside play. Game on the line, 33 seconds.
Guarding Norwood, Alapag hounded by Almeida. Latch fronted by Dur. He finally gets the ball, 15 seconds to shoot. Gotta give him some room. There's really no room for him. Let's see what he tries to do. 8 seconds to shoot now. Driving, banging, loses the ball. Puts it down, throws it. No good. The ball out of bounds. It belongs to the Philippines.
He has no timeout. He's just
8 seconds to shoot. Campo and Lee are in.
Now, Coach Reyes has said he's been poor. He was poor in the in-game situation. He's now got 8 seconds to win their first game in the World Cup. Get a W in your Basketball World Cup column. Alapag will win the game. That should have to give it up.
Oh, ball's loose. Tenorio. Drive, shoot! And the game is over. We're going to go into overtime. action. Second overtime game for the Philippines in Group B action.
Alapag was so open on the drive. I was thinking, it's like there's those fake moments if this is his last game. Tenorio penetrated, and he is wide open on the perimeter because everyone's contesting Tenario's little floater. Still not a bad shot. To be fair, he has a shot you'd expect him to make. But what a tremendous comeback by Senegal. And the Philippines are here again in overtime. There are the statistics. Where should Senegal shoot the ball? 58% or 13%? I know where I'd like the ball to go. And for yet another game, Philippines undersized, avoiding the rebound situation. Here's the three that literally ties the game. But I think we're gonna see. Is this the first one or the second one? Well, this will be the one. Look how open Alapag is. He tries to float it over the big rotating defense.
Actually, both corners were there.
Wide open, but it's a floater from 6 feet. But Philippine basketball is about penetration, kick. Alapag made his last 2 threes. I don't know.
Now, Jake Sarr doesn't have any player in foul trouble. They may be hurt, but they're not in foul trouble. Meanwhile, Andre Black has 4 fouls, and we're going to play 5 more minutes.
That's only going to be a factor if Senegal realize they're shooting 53 from 2 and 11 from 3. They've got to go inside. They've got to try and make Black run. They've got to try and keep pushing it. Teams all too often will slow up in overtime because they're worried about the situation. Both teams here have got to try to play their game. Which team does it the best?